He leads one of the most powerful nations on Earth, a country that shapes the global economy, technology, and politics. His name is Xi Jinping, a leader who transformed China into a rising superpower. But behind the image of control and authority lies a story of strategy, ambition, and long-term vision. How did a man from a political family rise through the system and gain such immense power? From his early years during a turbulent period in China's history to becoming the most influential figure in the country. His decisions don't just affect China, they impact the entire world. This is the story of power, influence, and the man shaping the future of a global superpower.
You know, in the grand theater of global power, there's always a script. But right now, one man is rewriting it for the entire 21st century. His story? Wow. It's one of revolution, of exile, and this relentless, almost impossibly methodical climb to the very, very top. This is the story of Xi Jinping.
And it really brings us to this central question, doesn't it? How does one person manage to gain absolute power over a superpower? We're talking about a nation of 1.4 billion people. It's a move that doesn't just transform China's destiny, but ours too.
So let's look at the facts. In 2022, something happened that was supposed to be impossible in modern China. Xi Jinping secured a third term. I mean, this just shattered all the rules. Overnight, he became the most powerful ruler the country had seen since Mao Zedong himself.
But to really get who he is today, you have to understand where he came from. In his story, it's fascinating because it doesn't start at the bottom. Oh no, it starts right at the very top. A life of incredible privilege that was about to be just completely shattered.
See, Xi was born a princeling. So, what on earth is that? Well, you can think of it as China's red aristocracy. He was the son of one of the original high-ranking revolutionaries, guys who fought right alongside Mao to create modern China. So he grew up in these exclusive, walled-off compounds in Beijing. He was basically destined for power from day one.
And his father, Shi Jinping, wasn't just some party official. We're talking about a genuine revolutionary hero, a veteran of Mao's legendary Long March. That kind of background gave the Xi family this almost mythical status. They were at the absolute heart of the new China.
But here's the thing about that kind of status. It was built on really shaky ground. Xi is born in '53, right into this elite world. But then, boom, 1966. Mao unleashes the Cultural Revolution, and everything just implodes. His father is suddenly an enemy of the state, purged, thrown in prison. And by 1969, Xi himself, just a teenager, is exiled to some remote village for years of grueling hard labor. It really wasn't until Mao died in '76 that the future looked like anything other than bleak.
Now, you'd think an experience like that would break a person, but not Xi. It seems to have forged this iron will in him, a different kind of ambition. This is where he learned to be patient, to be methodical, and it set the stage for his incredibly slow climb back to the top.
So when his family was finally rehabilitated, their name cleared, Xi didn't just rush back to Beijing to reclaim his spot. No, he was way smarter than that. He played the long game. He used that princeling status to get jobs out in the provinces, far away from the political center. And out there, quietly, he started building his network, his power base, and this reputation as a guy who could get stuff done.
And this is where you see this huge clash of ideas. Remember, after the absolute chaos of Mao, the guy who came after him, Deng Xiaoping, he set up a system of collective leadership. The whole point was to make sure that one person could never have that much power again. But Xi, he saw it totally differently. He looked at the party and saw weakness, corruption, and he became convinced the only way for it to survive was with a single, powerful, core leader at the center of it all.
So when he finally made it to the very pinnacle of Chinese politics, well, that's when he started to put his plan into motion. He began systematically taking apart that old system piece by piece and building a new one made in his own image. Okay, let's pinpoint the moment it all changed. The year is 2007. This is it. Xi Jinping gets promoted to the Politburo Standing Committee. I mean, this is the absolute peak of power in China. He wasn't just knocking on the door anymore, he was in the room where every single important decision was being made.
So the big question is, right? How do you go from being just one of 7 powerful guys to being the guy? Well, it turns out he pulled a page straight out of Mao's playbook. Step 1, get on the Politburo. Done. Step 2, launch this massive anti-corruption campaign that just so happened to take out all of his political rivals. Step 3, Fill all those empty seats with people who are loyal only to him. And then the checkmate move, get rid of the term limits, the very rule that was put in place to stop another Mao from ever happening.
And his gambit? It worked. Absolutely perfectly. By 2022, when he took that unprecedented third term, you look at the top of the party, the top of the military, they weren't just allies, they were his guys. People who owed their entire careers to him and him alone.
And just like that, in about a decade, a whole generation's work to build safeguards to prevent one-man rule from ever returning to China, it was all gone, undone.
But here's why this matters to all of us. This incredible power grab isn't just some internal Chinese story. Oh no, it has massive implications for how China deals with the rest of the world. So if you had to define the Xi era, what would it be? Well, it's this potent combination of just total control at home, which then lets him be way more assertive, way more ambitious on the world stage. Now, his power has definitely been tested. Think about the massive protests against his zero-COVID policy. But through all of that, his message has been crystal clear. He plans to rule for life.
And that leaves us with a really big, kind of scary question. When one man can single-handedly reshape the world's next superpower, what in the world does that mean for the future of power? For everyone.
If you want to understand more stories like this, the stories that are defining our world right now, make sure you subscribe